When pan roasting a duck breast, you want to start by scoring the skin, and this is going to allow some of the fat to render out and crisp up the skin during the cooking process. Now, I like to use an airline breast, which is shown here with the first wing joint attached, because I think it keeps the breast more tender, and also the little wing is a nice snack. So season with some kosher salt, and you're going to heat a pan over high flame, and here I'm using a heavy bottom saute pan, and to this I'm going to add my standard 50-50 mix of canola oil and clarified butter, and I'm going to wait till that oil gets nice and hot. Now you can use any sort of neutral flavored oil that has a high smoke point. Canola is a good one, grapeseed is another. And when you lay the duck breast down into the hot oil, see how I rotated it around and I laid it away from me. This will keep the oil from splashing back up on your hand, which, take it from me, really hurts. Now, pan roasting with the skin side down has a couple of advantages. Number one, it gives you a great crispy skin, but number two, it has a nice textural difference between the roasted piece of meat that never touches the pan and this crispy skin itself. Now, the whole idea is you want to check this skin during the cooking process as it's rendering out and becoming brown, but you never actually want to flip the duck breast over and caramelize that other side. Now, once the skin looks about like this light golden brown color, keeping it skin side down, you're going to place it in a hot oven about 450 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to let it roast in there, and the roasting time depends on your oven and the size of the breast, but about anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Now here about midway through, I'm going to pull this duck breast out, and we're going to check it using the finger method. And as you can see here, it's still a little squishy. It's not very responsive. Now, if it doesn't spring back at all, then it's overdone. And if it's squishy, it's still a little bit on the rare side. And we're shooting for a straight mid-rare duck breast. So I'm going to place it back in the oven, let it roast for another couple of minutes, and then I'm going to pull it out and check it again. And again, we're going to be using the finger test. Now here you can see how it's responsive, but it's not squishy, but it's also not firm and dense. That's what a duck breast that's roasted to mid-rare should feel and look like. And notice how during the whole cooking process, I never once flipped it over. I let all that fat render out of the skin. And when you go and check it, look at that beautiful, crispy, golden brown duck skin. Now you're going to remove that from the pan, set it aside, and let it rest. And if you're going to be making a pan sauce, remove some of the fat so you have about a tablespoon left, and we have a whole pan sauce video technique in the sauce series. Now you want to make sure you let your duck breast rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes before slicing it. That way the juices don't run all over the table. And I'm usually not a big fan of slicing the duck breast, but this way you can actually see the finished mid-rare duck breast. And notice how when I sliced it skin side down, so that way I wasn't crushing the meat trying to get to that crispy skin.